Hi folks, today I've got a Sofirn HS20 to show you. A headlight. The usual Sofirn strap with the head bit over the top there. But the most striking obvious feature off the bat, isn't it, is those two kind of lenses. And I have seen lights, perhaps for some time and more recently even more creeping out with this concept of having the two lenses in there. For one reason or another, nothing that I've seen so far has particularly appealed to me until the HS20 came out. I missed the first batch. They sold out more or less straight away, but I managed to get this one from the second batch. I've been using it now for several nights, and it really has become by far my favourite headlight. And let me tell you why. First off, Usbc Charging. Don't lose that when you're charging it. So we can charge the battery in situ if we want. We can also take the battery out and put another 18650 in of our choice if we like. So it is a replaceable battery. And in particular, those two LEDs there and the lenses, they are completely different. We've got a CRI XHP50 on the one side and a Samsung 90 CRI on the other. The Samsung's a little bit more of a floody type beam, and the 50.2 is a little bit more of a throwy type. Now, in terms of this Samsung LED here, the camera doesn't really pick it up. I'll try and show you later when we go outside. But this just throws light absolutely everywhere in your immediate vicinity. It just turns darkness into daylight, particularly in your house and you close around your feet and so forth. And I'll show you that. But in particular, with it being a 90 CRI, and what CRI stands for is colour rendering index. So the light that comes off it is really, really pleasant. So if I turn it on, in turbo in my kind of front room here, the light that's coming off the wall is really, really pleasant. And you might need that both from a personal preference point of view, but in particular, people with certain occupations, mechanics, electricians, that type of thing, that require an LED that displays light in the most natural manner possible. And that's what the CRI means. The higher the CRI, the more natural looking the light is. So yes, I've seen these before with two kind of reflectors in there, but not crucially with, and you'll notice that one as well, that's a TIR lens. Not getting my words out very well today, am I? TIR lens with the two completely different LEDs. So we have literally got two lights in one. And in that respect, the operation is really, really simple. It's 3 clicks from off. We'll lock it or unlock it. And to turn it on, 1 click on and a 1 click off. Same for the other LED. From the on position, we just hold it and it will cycle through our modes and then off again. Double click takes us to turbo. If we're in turbo, 1 click takes us back to where we were, and another click takes us off. Same with the other LED. We can have both on at the same time, and we can change the brightness of them both. Have them the same if we want. And from the on position, I can triple click in between, there we go, in between using one, the other, or both. And then off again. Let's have a quick look. He said off. Let's have a quick look at the manual there. Our throw mode at the top here. Low 60, medium 300, high 900, turbo 2300. But on the Sofirn webpage, it lists 60, 260, 800 and 1800. So 1800 versus 2300. I'm not sure which one of these two is correct. I suspect it's something to do with it being a new light, and there have been a couple of runs on it So I suspect that they're updating or undergoing some type of change, and the documentation will be updated in due course. It didn't particularly bother me either way, and you'll see why I wasn't particularly bothered when I take it outside and show you what it can do. Oh, and just before we come off that as well, these run times, they look particularly good, don't they? I didn't check every single one of them, but I did check this one. So I engaged both LEDs on turbo. I didn't keep on re-engaging turbo, put turbo on once and then just left it running. The heat regulation kicked in. If I was running on one LED, on the throw LED, I was getting about 3 minutes before the heat regulation kicked in. If I was using the floody LED, I was getting just over 5 before the heat regulation kicked in. In either event, it wasn't a magnificent step down. I hardly noticed it, but there was a step down. If you run both LEDs at the same time, you're obviously going to shorten that. But I got very, very close. I didn't want to dare run it until it just absolutely packed in. I think I got 1 hour 33 and I decided to turn it off. So I was really quite amazed with those run times from a single 18650. Now, apologies, I'm waffling on now, aren't I? Let's go and jump back to the manual, because we've got all the usual stuff now that we should be familiar with in terms of the waterproof, drop resistant, the heat regulation that we've just mentioned there, the specifications that we've already discussed, circuit protection, overcharge and over discharge protection, operating instructions, troubleshooting and maintenance. So it's pretty straightforward and simple, and apologies for the excessive waffle to kind of cover off the doubt that I had over those runtimes stated, and pointing out why there was a difference, or why I think there was a difference in between the documentation. So let's take it out and have a look and see what we can do. Hi folks, I've got the Sofirn HS20 now. I'm using the flood beam on its lowest mode. As you can see, it's throwing a decent amount of light and a very, very scattered type profile. Let's go up a level. I'm not moving the torch, I'm just moving the camera. As you can see now, that is throwing light all over the place in my immediate vicinity. Let's get a little bit closer. Again, I'm not moving the torch. Let's go up a level. I think that's pretty impressive, that is. Moving a bit into the distance there. Well, I say into the distance, we're not getting down that path, are we? But in our immediate vicinity, I'm certainly not short of light. And again, I'm not moving the torch, I'm just moving the camera. And I'll move the torch and point upwards a little bit so you can get an idea. Absolute blasting light everywhere, and then save the best till last, turbo. Look at that. I'm not moving the torch. Just absolutely everywhere. I've just moved over to our more concentrated beam on the low mode. I wish I had 2 of these, I could put them alongside each other, but I haven't. As you can see, a little bit more throw there on low, but we've still got plenty of peripheral spill. Medium. Pretty good. High. Now I hope that's, sorry, let me just swap hands. I hope that's pretty obvious now, where we're getting much further into the distance down there than we were with the, in fact, let me quickly make sure I've got my, yeah, that's the flood on high. And back to our throwy, or more throwy type version. Still plenty of flood. remarkable difference now, isn't there? Back to our throwy, and then look at that. I mean, I think we've got everything there, haven't we? You know, we really are getting into the distance then. But I hope the camera is kind of demonstrating it properly. Let's go to our... There's turbo on our flood mode. High, off, throw, turbo. High, turbo, high, off, floody, high, turbo. Both. Oh, I didn't mention that, or did I? Yes, you can have both on. You can play around with that, folks, to your heart's content. Back. Excuse that train, you know, they always turn up when I'm trying to film something. I'll pause while that's going past. Sorry about that, hopefully that's farther enough away. So again, last recap, there's our throwy type, turbo, high, off, high on our floody, turbo. So for me, this type of headlight, and I think I mentioned on the review there, was really, personally, never mind doing the reviews, personally this is one that I wanted. I've been using it now for a couple of nights, it's not disappointed. You know, this kind of close range work, plenty of run times. This is on the floody mode. And just absolutely perfect for what I tend to use the light for, which is I kind of want a little bit of the best of both worlds. I do want this close range illumination up to high if I need it. I mean, that's just getting a bit perhaps overkill, isn't it? But
when you need it and don't have it, you sing a different tune.
If you want plenty of close illumination, my God. Want a little bit more on the distance? I could.
Cover your ears.
Just kind of hit turbo, leaving my floody on, or none. I say none, that's how a floody on. Let's probably floody on high, there we go. That's probably how you would be, or at least how I'd be using it. Have the floody on, I think, on high. And then if I wanted a bit more, I can go high on the throwy, and then back off again if I didn't need it. Or even turbo, perhaps. People must think I'm bonkers, you know. I've been wandering around this park, tinkering around with these various modes, trying to find the, you know, what's the best combination. You know, am I going to go, you know, a medium or high type and turbo on that? I don't know. You can play around to your heart's content. But for me, this type of light, in terms of its size, its run times, its weight, and the features on it, is just absolutely perfect for me. And I'm sorry to perhaps let my personal preferences spill over a little bit there, but that's how much I like this light. Thanks very much, folks. I'm going to have a quick look at these quoted run times. I've turned the light on turbo initially, and I'm just going to leave it. Both emitters, as you can see, you probably can't see the timer there, I'm just 11 minutes in, and I'll leave it going and see how long we get with both emitters. The manual says 1 hour 40. I'm not going to film it all, I don't think we've got enough room on the memory card, but I'll come back to you and let you know what the results were. 1 hour 35. I think I'll turn off now and put the batteries back on charge.